Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. In today's video, I want to take a look at 7 of my most anticipated PC games coming in February 2019. I've talked a lot about how early 2019 is so much better for PC gaming in my eyes than late 2018, and typically that fall season is where you see a lot of the biggest games. But this time around, I think this early 2019 block is just loaded with so many great games. And out of all of these 7 games, I'm probably going to check out all of them at some point. Maybe not all of them on day one, because that's a lot of money to drop. But without a doubt, at some point, I'll be giving these games all a look. So without further ado, let's get right into it, and let's get started with the easiest one, the most obvious one. I think a lot of you guys knew that I would be giving this game a mention, and that is Metro Exodus. It'll be coming on February 15th, originally scheduled for a release on February 22nd, but it's been pushed up a week because development was just going that well, and that's a really good omen for how this game is turning out. And Metro Exodus, of course, I'm going to be excited about this game. I've talked so highly about Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. They're 2 of my favorite games on PC, just excellent single-player first-person shooters, excellent stories, the gameplay is great, the world is extremely absorbing, and how can you not mention the incredible visuals? And Metro Exodus is going to be another one of those games that really accentuates the PC and what the PC hardware can do. Hey, can this hardware run Metro Exodus at X and Y settings and X and Y frame rate? Yeah, Metro Exodus is definitely going to be that kind of game, but it's not just going to be a tech demo. Metro is much more than that. It's got the great visuals, but it's got everything else too, and it's easy to see why so many gamers are excited for it. And with Exodus, it looks like they're making it more of an open experience, which I'm completely on board with. Not a complete open world game, but it is going to be a little bit more open than past games. Metro Exodus again drops February 15th. Next up, we have a game that PC players had to wait a little bit for, but not too long, and that is Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown. This will be dropping on February 1st, and Skies Unknown just hit consoles, and it's been getting pretty strong reviews. I believe on Metacritic, the PlayStation 4 version of the game is sitting at an 81, and I've talked about how there is seemingly not a lot of anticipation surrounding Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown on PC. Maybe that's because Ace Combat has never generally been associated with PC gaming. I believe we've only had one Ace Combat game that's been natively released on PC. I think that was Assault Horizon, and that game wasn't that great of a port. But with Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, I imagine that the team is going to do a much better job with the PC port of this one, considering it's going to be released at a full $60 price point, and it's a pretty big budget title. You would imagine they would go the extra mile for the PC port. Again, the console versions have been getting great reviews. The PC version's probably going to look great, so if you want a high-octane action flight game, Ace Combat 7 is going to be the one for you. It hits February 1st. Next up is a game that I think a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me on for putting this game in my most anticipated list, but it is Anthem. Anthem is coming February 22nd. It is the latest game from BioWare. It is being published by EA, and just based off those 2 tidbits about the game, it's easy to see why a lot of gamers have been pushed away from Anthem. However, the more I've seen of Anthem, the more I've liked what the game has had to offer. Also, with the added fact that they are not only going to offer a VIP demo later this month for Origin Access subscribers, they're going to have an open demo that's going to be available for everyone. That makes me think that BioWare is very confident in how this game is turning out from a gameplay standpoint. Are they going to get all of the other elements right? Who knows? We'll see. We do know that there's not going to be any microtransactions that are inherently going to affect the gameplay. They're going to be strictly cosmetic, although that whole microtransactions for only cosmetic thing doesn't really hold a lot of weight with me, because cosmetic items used to be a part of the game inherently. It never used to be locked behind monetary value unless it was a free-to-play title. Now you've got pay-to-play games with cosmetics locked behind a paywall. That's unfortunate to me, but nonetheless, what I've seen of Anthem has made me cautiously optimistic. Yes, it's cautious optimism. It's still EA. It's still BioWare, based on Mass Effect Andromeda, which I think is a better game looking back at it now all these years later, but still, I think Anthem's got some potential, and I think BioWare really needs this game to be a home run, because after Andromeda, gamers are already a little down on them. Gamers are down on EA. Anthem is definitely fighting an uphill battle, but let's see how it turns out on February 22nd. Again, we'll have the VIP demo, we'll have the open demo, so we'll get to try this game before it officially launches. Moving on from that, we have the latest game in the Trials franchise in Trials Rising. Trials Rising will be hitting PC on February 12th, and Trials is a franchise that I always can get behind. It's just a very addictive game to me, very challenging. And yes, while I won't say it's fundamentally perfect, I can't get enough of Trials. It's a game that I can always go back to, always sink an hour or 2 here and there. And with Trials Rising, there's going to be a big emphasis on the community-created content, so that's going to be a big added bonus to the game. It's going to be more Trials. If you haven't been into Trials at this point, Trials Rising probably isn't going to win you over, but for me, I've been into Trials, and it's going to be another one in the series that I'm looking forward to. It hits February 12th. Moving on from that, we also have God Eater 3. That'll be coming on February 8th, and I'm very excited for God God Eater 3. I know that God Eater is looked at by many people as a lesser tier Monster Hunter. Maybe you'll see it as Monster Hunter with an anime skin, and for some people, Monster Hunter with an anime skin sounds really good, but God Eater does have its own unique flair to it. As far as the narrative and storytelling goes, God Eater is way stronger than Monster Hunter. I'm sorry, you really can't argue that. Monster Hunter's story is pretty bare bones. I'm not gonna say that God Eater is a narrative masterpiece, however, it's definitely got a story there. Yes, you could argue that Monster Hunter is the stronger game, and I'm not gonna argue with you on that. I think MH World is a fantastic title, but I think God Eater 3 can also end up surprising a lot of people. I played the action demo on the PlayStation 4, that was quite good, and the full game will be hitting PC on February 8th. Moving on from that, how about that? A Windows 10 exclusive Crackdown 3 will finally be releasing on February 15th. Wow, this game has been in development for a very long time. I believe it was announced either when the Xbox One was announced or a year later, and we're talking 2013, 2014 time. It is now 2019 and the game is finally coming out. I think it was originally scheduled to release in 2015, then it got pushed back to 2016, 2017, 2018. And now finally we're gonna get our hands on the game. Now right away, when a game is delayed this many times, the red flags go off. You have to be a little skeptical about the game. Do I expect Crackdown 3 to be a masterclass in game development? No, but Crackdown has generally been a pretty fun game, and I hope that Microsoft delivers with this game because I think Crackdown as an IP has a lot of potential. I remember Crackdown 1, that game was so great, and yes, everyone bought it to play the Halo 3 beta, but it turned out to be a great game. Crackdown 2, not so much. Could Crackdown 3 turn the ship? We'll see. After all of these delays, I'm very skeptical, but considering that it'll be a part of Game Pass, considering I'll get it with my $10 a month subscription, along with games like Forza Horizon 4, Gears of War 4, and all of the other games offered, you know, it's not too big of an ask, but we'll see how it turns out when Crackdown 3 hits PC on February 15th. And lastly, I wanted to give a shout to Jump Force. That'll be coming on February 15th, and as an anime buff, as somebody that is a big fan of a lot of the anime that is featured in Jump Force, I had to give this game a mention. It's a crossover fighting game featuring characters from Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Dragon Ball, and so many more. Yugi's in there. For fans of these IP, it's a love letter. Now, is it actually going to be a good game? Who knows? I've played the other Jump titles that were released on like the PlayStation 3. There was one game way back in the day, and that game wasn't all too great. Jump Force technically looks pretty good, and just of the aspect that it's such a visually pleasing game, and you have all of these different anime characters, iconic characters at that, Naruto versus Goku, Sasuke versus Vegeta, all of these dream matchups, that inherently is just gonna be pretty cool to do. Unfortunately, if you do have a console, Jump Force is the kind of game I would probably get on console instead. I don't know what the longevity is gonna be on PC. Usually games like this die out pretty quickly. On PS4, it's probably gonna have a longer staying power. I don't know about Xbox One. Doubt it's gonna have a long life on there as well, but initially it should be pretty active, but I'm talking about 6 months down the line. Are people still gonna be playing Jump Force? I don't know about that on PC. But the game itself, for all of us weeaboos, it's gonna be pretty freaking cool. Again, it hits February 15th. And that's gonna conclude this video. So those are 7 PC games that I'm really excited for in February. There are a lot of other interesting titles dropping in February. There's games like Degrees of Separation and a couple of other titles that have me interested, but I wanted to go over these 7 bigger titles. Let me know out of these which games you're excited for the most, or if there are other games that are exciting you. And you can leave all your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Allowed us to fight back the chaos. And the walls protected our families.
In every generation, and I felled every last one of them.
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Trigger, can you hear me? All survivors, respond!
Can anyone hear me? That aircraft needs to be taken care of.
Can you hear me? Pilot with the 3 strikes.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.